From years with current insurer, who are they?
So I've been with Viva for 2 years, just because I got a new car and I wanted to spend a bit more, because it was a better car, a newer car, I wanted to spend more, and I went with their breakdown cover, etc. as well. And they had a good reputation. Colleague had used them for a while and said, any hassle, and they just sorted straight away. Correct. So yeah, so I've been with them for 2 years.
And I've just read this question that's not on there. What level of cover is it?
I've done fully comp.
Fully comp.
Yeah.
Would you mind adding that next to that point?
Which bit?
Yeah, next to 8. Or no, 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I literally had the car 2 days and somebody reversed into the back of me. Heavily pregnant woman, what could I say to her? She was crying her eyes out. And it turned out we were with the same insurance company, and they smashed it, they sorted it out straight away. Couldn't give me a hire car. Good. Well, they could, but they said, look, it's a bit of a hassle, we're short of them, so they gave me some money instead, but I was just as happy because I could get up where I need to go without a car if I had to, right. So it worked out well for me. So that made me save them for another year.
Good. So your current feeling?
With them it's good, but I think on the whole, insurance companies, look, we don't want to pay what we pay. It goes up all the time without any explanation. No crashes, no speeding fines. They don't give you anything back for it, I feel. So no. I just think they're probably ripping us off, aren't they? Across the board on every insurance.
Okay. So you don't think it's fair. Do you feel it should be more personalised?
I think you should get something back for what I've just said. The fact that, if you've driven for 10 years plus and you haven't had any, black marks, I think it should reflect it in your insurance. I don't feel it does when it keeps going up every year.
Mm-hmm. Well, they cap it, don't they, at 20 years, and then you probably still get the same.
Okay, I don't know.
I think it's 20 years they cap it on.
Actually, what we should have said then is, do you drive to work? Did we say that?
Yeah.
You put how often do you use your car?
Right,
daily.
Do you drive to work? Do you drive to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll write that down.
Yes, please.
Do you want it in any particular place or?
Just above the personalisation question, 11. Just before 11, because it affects 11. Right? Because in principle, there's now the technology that identifies not only maybe how often you drive, but where you drive, where you park. It can attribute and this is the future, this is the imminent future. It will be able to attribute, if you like, a quality score against the roads you tend to take to work.
Dangerous roads, better ones,
things like that.
Busy,
is that car park there? If that's where you park, is that a safe car park generally?
Yeah.
That type of thing. Which is where there's a lot of talk in the insurance industry about ultra personalisation going forwards, right? Where do you park overnight, all that sort of stuff, which is kind of where the other questions are. So let me just, sorry, I won't interject. If you just quickly talk through the other answers you had.
So, I do feel it should be personalised, yes.
Okay, yeah.
I trust them somewhat.
Okay.
You have to, I suppose.
Yeah.
I park on a road, outside my house on a road overnight. When I'm on holiday, I tend to usually leave it at home, so on the road. I don't often leave it in the airport car park. I just think it's cheaper, isn't it, to go the Ubers most times.
Yeah.
I use it daily. I'm frustrated by the price increases every year, and I think the insurance app probably compares to my bank app probably equally. I think the bank apps might be a bit. You use it more. Use your bank app more. My insurance one I only use it when I have to, which is when you're renewing. And I haven't ever paused it, but thinking about it really in hindsight, in COVID, you could just parked it off road. My sister's off road and not insured it, but but then you used it. You did sort of use it out and about. It was just being go for a drive sometimes, wouldn't you? With COVID and that to get out.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It's me.
Yep. You can eat sandwich now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure you don't want anything?
No, I'll grab it. I'll grab.
Alright. Actually, I'm going to sausage roll. We should have heated them. Right, next.
Want me to go next?
Please.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
Just quickly buzz through the annual cost onwards.
So annual cost was about $510. I've just literally renewed with the car insurance at Fully Comp. They're okay, I feel. The insurance companies, they're all the same really. There's no one I don't think stands out more. I think back in the day you used to have insurance brokers, is that what they used to be called? So you used to kind of go in there and go in the little shop or pop in. I think they were a bit more personalised back then because you were actually speaking to someone, whereas now it's all done on the internet, isn't it? The insurance, is it fair? For me, I guess this time, because it was a lot cheaper, it was fair this time round, but other years it has been a lot higher.
Yeah.
So the way it fluctuates is a bit uneasy at times. So you think, why is it jumping that much and then reducing that much? I drive to work. I feel they should be a bit more personalised, definitely, because not everyone drives the same, has the same experiences.
No, absolutely.
What else? Do I trust them? Somewhat.
Okay.
I think they don't always tell you the little small print bits, because no one ever reads those things really, do they? And you only know when you start, if you need to claim, if there is that issue. I park overnight on the road. When we've gone on holiday, we've used airport parking. I use the car daily to travel to work. Where are we? What frustrates you most about car insurance? The time it takes, I think, when it is coming up to renewal.
The time to find a new policy and all that sort of thing.
I mean, the comparison sites, you are kind of logged in, so you just log back in and they do it for you. But when I've looked on, say, the bank, they can do insurance. So I had a look and they were ridiculously priced. And you think, well, they're your bank, you've banked with them for years, you'd get some sort of a discount, but you don't. So those sort of ones are extremely high in price. And the price increases obviously every year.
Okay.
Insurance app to the bank. I've put equal because when I used it last year with the app, I can't remember who I was with last year. Oh, Go Surely, I think they're called, or something like that.
Yeah.
The app was quite good. It was quite informative.
Go Shorty.
Is it Go Shorty or Go Surely?
It would be
Go something.
Go Shorty. It's short for, no, that's for short-term insurance. Go Surely or something. Yeah.
But this one that I'm with now, I've logged onto the app to look at documents and stuff, and it is very easy to use.
Okay.
And it's quite easy to get in contact with people.
Okay.
There was an issue with the price, but they'd added an extra charge that I hadn't requested, and they were quite easy to get in touch with, and they refunded me back straight away.
Okay.
And that was all done on the chat that they have that pops up on their app. So that was relatively pain-free and easy. You didn't have to hang on the phone for quite a while.
Okay.
So I think if they have that option on their apps to live chat, I think that's a lot better.
Got it.
All depends on the person if they like to speak to people on the phone, but I think these days a lot of people are quite happy just doing the live chat.
Depends on the live chat though, because some of them are hopeless.
Yeah.
Like some of them are bloody hopeless.
Yeah.
But that sounds good.
Yeah, the girl I dealt with was very good. She sorted it out straight away and confirmed that the money would be back into my account within 7 days, and it was.
The money would be back into your account?
Yeah.
What happened? I missed that.
They overcharged me on extra that I didn't think I'd clicked. I must have maybe I'd done it accidentally because it was a bit confusing. And she was like, no, that's fine, no problem, and we'll take that feedback into account.
Okay.
So that was, my experience was quite good with
Okay.
that. I haven't temporarily thought about pausing an insurance, but I guess if for any reason that you can't drive your car for a couple of months if you're ill or you've had an operation, then that would make sense. Or if they gave you money back for the months that you're not using it or something.
Okay. Okay, lovely, thanks. And then there's one other question I've realised we should have had. Have your insurer And this can apply for what insurance policies do you have? Home or contents or property or anything like that?
Oh.
Or,
I think got home with Admiral.
okay, fine. So then you have insurance policies and have had them in the
Yeah,
past,
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So then have your current insurer, main insurer, offered you across other products with enhanced discounts and things like have your car insurer tried to promote home insurance
Yeah.
things like
Ask
that?
when kind of your house insurance is next
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
If you need holiday insurance.
Okay.
Can't remember what else they offer.
And what was your answer, if I may ask?
No, because the house one, we kind of have that with the mortgage bank, so it just kind of ticks over.
Right.
I think for that we've never really searched anywhere else for
Okay.
a cheaper option. I think they just renew it and we just kind of go with it.
Same as, which sometimes
In
it just,
hindsight,
you
you
can't be
probably
bothered,
should,
can
but
you?
yeah.
You just, it's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
coming up and, it's
Yeah.
whatever, 25 quid, and you think, oh, you know what, I'm not going to get much difference, but sometimes you probably need to do it, but it's just, you can't be bothered.
So if it were the case that, for argument's sake, the car insurance ended at exactly the same time as the house insurance, would you be more likely to look at doing the two side by side or with one company?
Possibly, depending if for example you've got them all on a comparison site and you've got both there and you don't need to really go through the whole updating and adding stuff. If it's all there that you've done it before and they keep it all there, then maybe because it's.
I think with a house, it's harder, isn't it? Because they ask you questions that sometimes are quite hard to answer, like, what's your house made of? What's this? Has it got that? And is this bricks? That's all I know. But there's certain things they ask, and you're like, oh, your locks and this and that, and you're like, oh.
So that's it. You don't
can't
finish it. You stay
really
with who you
remember.
started with,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I
It is.
done it on this house, and then I think it just gets kept renewing.
I'd forgotten that. That was a challenge. It's about 5 years since I did it with Lloyd's, and I haven't changed. And I do remember you saying.
Some of it was
so therefore
like, I don't know,
it's just not worth
your
hassle.
wall's got this on it, and it's like, I don't know, to be honest with you.
So it is just easier but I think if the car insurance, if they don't put themselves up as much, then I would be more inclined, if it only went up say £20-30 from the year before, I'd be more inclined to just stay with them, which I have done in the past.
Okay.
But when it's doubled in price and you can get it cheaper,
Okay.
then you don't want to stay. But if it is literally 20-30 quid difference,
Yeah. See, I think your household only goes up a couple of quid a year, doesn't it? It doesn't seem to go up noticeably, whereas, what you just said, the car does.
Yeah. I mean, you expect it to increase, but not double.
See, I remember the days when it wouldn't increase, and it'd even go down sometimes, because it'd look at that you'd been driving X amount of years.
It used to go down.
But now it doesn't go down at all. I remember paying a lot less. I mean, a different car, I know that, but definitely it would reduce. It wouldn't increase.
Not by as much as it does now.
And you said Admiral.
Yes.
For which type of insurance was that?
Home insurance.
Home insurance. Okay.
But it's sort of similar to what they're saying, because it's kind of tied to the house. Don't really kind of look into, like, ours is coming up for renewal actually next week, and we've got the emails, but we probably won't look at another provider. I mean, it's pretty cheap at the moment because we haven't had the house for that long, but just in terms of how much information you need to know about the house.
Right.
We'll probably just stick with who we've had before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does your partner drive?
No.
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 Okay, so you're a modern family, aren't you? Yeah. It was only in the second lockdown, which I think was 2021, that it occurred to me, because we up, or just before Christmas, wasn't it, right? And we were still shut down in January, February. And I was sat in my garden having a cigarette and a glass of wine, about to watch, it was really warm winter day, about to watch a Watford game on the phone because you couldn't go to the stadium. And I got this weird, I sign up to lots of news alerts and things, and sort of industrial ones, and I got one saying Sheila's Wheels are the only company to allow their drivers to pause their car insurance so far during COVID. I thought, what? I thought, I've got to do this, got to look into pausing my insurance. Phoned whoever it was I was with, and they were just like, no, you can't do it. can't afford your car insurance. And I said, well, can't I take it down to a minimal payment because I'm not driving? Can't I flip to third party? Can't I go the cheapest possible thing? No, you can't. Right? And at that point, it just struck me as prehistoric that was the case when so many services have so much flexibility these days. Yeah. So we started then looking at launching products. Look, what the products that could be launched in the future that might work for Ollie, my son, and you in your generation. What you Z, whatever it is. Yeah. What, I don't know. I don't know what I am actually.
I'm just in the, what's the one before?
Millennials?
Z. I'm not a millennial, I'm an X.
X, right, okay, fine.
I literally just make it by year.
Alright.
We're X's, I think. We were looking at our plus the other day.
So it seemed like we were in this world where apps could do anything, and yet I couldn't do anything by way of controlling or changing my own car insurance. Right? So we started looking at where's it gone? There. Concepts around plausible plausible insurance, and we bought the website plausible.com and .co.uk and all of the global variations on it. Okay, and we're now at the outset of looking at launching plausible insurance services, and by that I mean adjustable, not fully plausible. So you pause certain levels and so forth. So this will start to become self-explanatory, and I'm just going to play you a couple of 30-second adverts.
Wouldn't it be great if insurance was plausible? That's right, plausible, as in able to be paused. So that when you're not driving the car, or travelling the world, or riding the bike, or up a snow-covered mountain, or scuba diving with sharks, you just pause your insurance at the push of a button on your phone. At plausible.co.uk, we've invented the word and the world's first plausible insurance service. In the last 2 years, you could have saved a fortune, and who knows what's in store going forwards. To find out more, just text YES to 66777 or visit plausible.co.uk.
Now that was 3 years ago, and we were looking at what we were doing in terms of launching it and trying to figure out how it worked because of particularly because of SORM, SORM, which you probably know what that is. Anyway, we started looking into it, and at the same time, pay by miles car insurance started. Okay. And pay by miles works in such a way where you can pay for a chunk of miles, and then you go into it's almost like a hibernate state, but you're still insured. Okay, it's just essentially they give you a black box into like a little black box thing that goes on the dashboard and all that sort of thing. So we and then AI came along at the same time. Do you use ChatGPT or anything at all?
No.
Okay, fine.
I have sometimes.
You have sometimes, right? Well, you can see the astonishing potential of that on an everyday basis. So we've since then took our foot off the gas, haven't done anything to launch the plausible services because we were trying to figure out exactly how it works. And it's obviously, let me show you a quick video at this point. Taylor Hughes is in WhatsApp, isn't it? YouTube even.
It's on the right, I think. Yeah.
Is it? Where's the YouTube one? What's that?
Oh, sorry for a second.
Okay, so those are kind of outlines of the concept, and then we'd just be interested in your quick answers. That won't take up too much of more of your time. Feel free to ask any questions if you've got any queries about the technology that might relate to it or issues with it.
So if you were to pause your car insurance, is that just for the driving and if you have a crash? What about if you are leaving it parked somewhere and you pause it and then someone takes steals your car or it gets broken?
Well, you would potentially
There
there would be
different levels of what you can pause.
We currently operate in a world where, for some reason, well, just because it's convenient and the insurance industry has been the slowest to change. Well, there's third party phone theft, third party only, in fact, and fully comp. That's it. Okay, but the personalisation of insurance that there's already companies looking at this means you should have different. You know the graphic equaliser like we all used to use when we were growing up and on our music systems, which no one has anymore, of course. It's like that. It's tweaking it to personalise it. If you park in a driveway and you've got and you close the gate, or you park in a garage, or you only drive 1 day a week, the mode of your insurance would change into hibernate, safe park. So it would be essentially different levels of insurance. Yeah,
right, I understand.
But that's a good question because that needs to perhaps be made clearer, doesn't it? Yeah.
I suppose for old school people, where they think probably that your car might get stolen or get broken into and stuff.
Actually, sorry, can I stop you? Can I ask you not to think of this just as car insurance?
As
insurance
as a
across
whole.
the board.
Insurance, so if it's travel or something that's seasonal, or if you were, I don't know, if you went like my son does go mountain biking and you only need insurance when you go mountain, you know what I'm saying? So if it was those, just disregard car for a moment from this. Okay, that's not clear enough, is it? You wouldn't be the one doing it. It
Yes,
would know
it would
what,
pick
it would
it
know
up.
what
It would
you're
know
doing.
the car's
So
moving.
like I guess with your
Like with the
with
360
your
app,
phone,
you know, it recognises
knows
when you're driving.
when you're walking, and it will say, "Do you want to?"
Yeah, because otherwise that wouldn't work.
Okay,
Everyone would
yeah.
forget at some point, wouldn't
Yeah.
they?
God.
So if you've got a car with a navigation system in it, that would be the
that
connection.
would be
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
understand. Okay.
Or you could choose your phone to be the connection point, and essentially what you end up with is a phone. Would you hold fire on that for 1 sec? Sorry. Thanks, Joe. A phone that is a portal to your multiple insurance policies, right? Which going forward you're going to need to insure devices when you go abroad. If you took that abroad, you'd have to insure it, right? Separately, you wouldn't get a standard insurance policy. There's all kinds of there's a company called Lemonade, they're the biggest growing company in the insurance sector. They only do possessions, right?
Okay.
So the Internet of Things, which is something that's a couple of years away, is essentially where your devices will tell the insurer what you're doing with them at that particular moment in time. All right. So it all gets very smart, a bit Big Brotherish, unfortunately, but the capability is there for that risk to be eliminated of forgetting, which is the key thing here, I think, isn't it?
Definitely, big, massive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, have you done that?
Oh,
Are you at the
I'm on 7. So let's stop on.
Okay, carry on. Yeah,
Sorry,
carry on.
I'm
No, it's fine.
sorry. Is
Carry on.
that right?
No, that's fine. Yeah, carry on. At your own speed and leisure, but feel free to comment along the way. Well, if you fill them in quickly, and then we just get everyone's opinion on each question quickly, and then some quite similar ones, and then at the end, if we can. Well, the last point is which of those logos do you like, isn't it? Really, the one that you saw on screen is redundant now. Well, probably redundant.
Which one's that? Green Lieutenant Mouse.
know, it's strange with things like the last one, how different people see things, isn't it?
Yes.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you chosen for the logo?
I chose the top two.
Top two. Okay.
Maybe the third. Maybe that one. But those three.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because of they stand out more.
Yeah.
I went for
I
the
went
middle
for that
ones.
one.
Yeah. That's what I
What's the
I
say.
went for the middle one.
Yeah.
Which one did you go for?
Middle ones.
Yeah.
I kind of went for that one because it's quite like simple.
Yeah, I think that
My
one.
brain couldn't work out that.
No.
But
no.
now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's a plain
Plain,
second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think I liked that. Simple, but it stands. I
I
think the
guess
black
which-
stands out more than the blue. Are more eye catching.
So you see the pause icon in that, do you?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Right.
Yeah.
In that one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're leaning towards the one that you circled, Elaine, which is the
Got good eye.
the left hand one at the bottom, with just the pause icon in the button. But we're still not. We think it might evolve. It might start as one thing, and then we'll. The other one that we looked at was where the U was literally a pause button.
I think
Oh,
if you
yeah.
went for that one, you should leave the P plain and just do it like that. But the same
Yeah.
but swap these around.
Okay, that's interesting. So you.
So go like that. Like put that and that there. Do you know what I mean? But have that as a normal P. Don't
Yeah.
have the pause
Yeah, I
and the
like
P.
the U. I like the U. The
So I
pause
take
button.
them down
Yeah.
to here and leave the P whole.
Okay. Right, that's interesting. Quick question. If we hadn't been talking about plausible insurance and you'd just seen that as a brand, would you have recognised the word said plausible?
On those ones.
The one where it's just two eyes. You
I
would,
probably wouldn't.
you wouldn't. Okay,
No.
it's a bit too. Or it's you're reaching for
To
that.
me, that
yeah?
looks
Yeah.
like a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't.
No.
In my
I
head,
think
I'm like, oh.
Them two aren't great. Those two. Don't know. That just looks a bit old-fashioned,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
a little bit. But I think on the others you will.
Have you gone for like Watford colours on that one?
I don't know where that came from.
The yellow and the black.
But I would definitely play around with the like how you're going to
Yeah.
set the letters out and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, well, there'll be animations as well to go in online. TV's one thing, print's another, and that's kind of.